Eric's Vintage Toys, friends and fam. Today I'll bring you one of the most magnificent vintage toy vehicles ever made. Not just Star Wars, but ever made. I'll bring you the Imperial Shuttle. Look at this specimen of a toy. This is unbelievably made. The size is out of control, man. Like, this is just magic. This is 1980. Look, I think it's 84. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I always get my year wrong by a year or two. But look at how well this is made. It's absolutely magnificent. I'm going to go into this a little bit more in detail. So this thing here, it's easily... Look, a lot of people say this is the best Star Wars vintage vehicle ever made. It's hard to argue because it's ridiculously spectacular. And I'll keep throwing out these little superlatives, but whatever I throw out, it's not going to do it justice. It's so good. Like I've already done a video. I've already let you know that AT-AT is my favourite. That's a mammoth vehicle too. This is right behind it. Someone actually commented on my AT-AT video saying that this is better. Hey, look, on any given day, I might agree with you. This is madness. All right, man, look at the size of it. Now, I've seen some wicked displays of people with this vehicle having 1,000 bloody Imperials, Royal Guards, the works around, and it just makes for the most magnificent setups for toys. Unfortunately, myself, it just does not fit in my cabinet or my life. It's massive. Like the AT-AT, I should say, AT-AT is big. I just get it in my cabinet. This thing, man, I would love to own it. I just can't bring myself to, because of the size, the sheer size. They say size doesn't matter, but it does with this because where are you going to put it? It's too deep for my cabinet, and if I did put it in my cabinet, I'll lose a shelf. It's you gotta take the good with the bad. You can't have everything. So I'm gonna what I'll do quickly is I'll show you the wings and stuff, the mechanisms, how it opens up, and the electrics. I can't say enough good things about it. It's an unbelievable vehicle. I didn't own this, but my brother did. I can't believe he swindled my parents into buying this for him in the 80s. I think it was over $100 Australian in the 80s, which is big bucks. And I remember my dad bringing this home in the bloody back of his van. The box is enormous, like I'm sure if you've seen one or not. It's huge box, well padded. He brought this in the back of the van. I'm like thinking to my brother, how the bloody hell did you get mum and dad to buy this for, you know? Like, I mean, then again, I go back and I had a bloody Moro Hydro foil, I had a Tomahawk, Judgeo Tomahawk. So I've got some pretty big stuff too, don't get me wrong, but this was this next level. And I was going to grab a couple batteries and pop it in. And you're going to hear that sweet Star Wars vintage sound that just everyone loves. So, the back where the thruster sticker is, that whole thing just clicks on, it folds on over, and it just takes 2 AA's. Such a big beast, but only 2 AA's. Well marked, positive and negative symbols are there, unlike some of the vintage toys, but there we go. Let's click it in and pray she hums. Now, I've got it under good authority that it works, so let's have a look. He lied. A lot of these guys, you've got to prime them a bit, got to jiggle the batteries a bit. Maybe it's just got a bit of stage fright. Or maybe some clown just put them both positive facing the same way. Somehow. Meathead. Actually, look, that's shocking. I actually put both positives the same way. So that was me. Well, that's gone. I'm not going to cut that out because why not? That's me. Bit of a clown. I actually heard a little noise then even though I didn't push the button. So here we go. Let's see if she works. Oh, mama! You've got to love it. So, pro tip, it helps when you put the batteries, point them the right way, yeah? But anyway, that's sweet Star Wars vintage sound. It's music to my ears. I'm sure parents, as I've gone into some other videos, love that sound. So, quickly go. The cockpit folds forward, and you can put in whoever you want. Stormtroopers, Imperial Commanders. I think Imperial Commander used to live in that cockpit in our house. I think I wasn't allowed to touch this. This is up on a shelf, by the way, just for your information. This cockpit's got a sticker. This one's actually really nice. This is up for sale soon. This is actually a beautiful shuttle. It's not overly discoloured. It's got actually very little discoloration. This is a bit of a candidate for really changing colours. But this one's really nice. It's got a little bit of dust in all the grooves. I gave it a quick wipe down. But yeah, it's got a bit of dust. This one seems to have most of the stickers. intact, which is really cool. So then what you got underneath, you got landing gear. So these can be clicked down and you can just use the handle for flight. So this is when it's in flight mode. So the trigger on the handle, when you hold that trigger in, it releases a locking mechanism on the wings. Now some of these make a sick noise. Oh no, this one's coming down sweet, I think. Some of these make a sick clicking noise and it stresses me out that they're gonna break. There you go. So that one's come down nicely. And you just see how savage this is. I do believe there are some acrylic cases you can get for this to have it in with the wings down flight mode, and they're just nuts. To be quite honest with you, I'm actually thinking I should maybe keep this. This one's a bit tight at the top, but it does lock in place. So I mean, look at this thing in flight mode, man. Like, it is enormous. Like, I'm just over I'm just shy of 6'1", and this is half of me, man. Like, if I'm keeping this, it's the size of bloody. Take over my cabinet. Not that it'll fit anyway, but look at the monster. Look, it's such a sick vehicle. I honestly cannot say enough about it. And just looking at it, holding it in my hands now, I don't know how I like AT-AT more, but I do. I guess I think it's because I've had to probably spend a bit more time playing with the AT-AT in the past, whereas this was forbidden fruit for me. So, I mean, look at this, man. Get him in flight mode. Woo! Shuttle's idea, and what is your cargo and destination? Yeah, destination is not my house, unfortunately. It's just too big. I love it. Anyway, the side hinge opens here. Side hatch opens here. And put a couple of figs in there. Sit them down. There's a few stickers. There's not too much of excitement inside the shuttle, to be honest with you. But it's cool. And then another toy play feature is it's got a very cool ramp here. So it kind of slides down there, which clicks it in place, and then it retracts and comes right out. So when it's seated, it just sits on the ground and waits for someone to climb up that little ramp. So it had a pretty good playability. I've seen so many of these broken clasps here and there, missing this, missing that. This one's really nice. I'm going to put this one at probably about C8.5, probably just shy of C9. Just the slightest of discoloration, and you can see that, and it's common with this. The colour mismatches a little bit. When you get an unplayed with vintage, one of these grey vehicles, an AT-ST, an AT-AT, a shuttle, something like that, and it's got that factory perfect colour on it, it's just a thing of beauty. Now this one is very bloody close to that, but you can just see, like for example there's a slightly different tinge, you know, slightly different shade of colour on it. So this is a magnificent shuttle. This is probably, I mean, I had one that I had just in a box that was just open, and that was unbelievable. Ship that. That was just a thing of beauty. But this is the second nicest shuttle I've ever had. That was unused, so that's not fair. But this is an absolute scorching shuttle. So this will be up for sale very soon. But this was just a bit of just to say why this isn't my favourite vehicle. It's bloody unbelievable. They don't make anything like this anymore. I think they have re-released this, but look, this is the OG. My goodness. So this is from the collection of James Kennison, and what a savage vehicle this is. So that's your Imperial Shuttle. Is it the biggest Star Wars vintage vehicle ever made? Vintage, I believe there's nothing bigger than this. You got AT-AT's pretty big. At Rebel Transport's reasonable size, but they all pale in comparison to this savage thing. Modern, yes, they've made some of those legacy AT-ATs and whatnot are bigger than this, probably, but that's not vintage, man. So look, I'm gonna say, yeah, this is easily the biggest vintage toy made, Star Wars vintage toy made. It's just spectacular. So I personally, in my ranking, it's number 2, second best behind the AT-AT, AT-AT. I can't settle it again. It's because I'm in a rush. You say it when you're in a rush, you say AT-AT, but AT-AT, this is the second best vehicle made in my eyes. I mean, look, disagree with me. If you can disagree with me and say it's better than the AT-AT, I'm not going to have a fight with you. Tell me what's better. If you think there's something that's better than this and the AT-AT, I want to hear it. And tell me why. Because you're wrong. This is better. But no, honestly, if you think there's something better than this and the AT-AT, tell me. Tell me what it is. I want to know. Like, I've seen them all. I think I've had... I don't think there's a style of vintage vehicle I've never seen in person, touched at all. I also love, I don't have it at the moment, I love that glass light tie interceptor. That is spectacular. I don't know why I sold that. I regret selling that. I can't remember who I sold it to. I should hunt them down and ask them to buy it back. Glass light tie interceptor, look that up. That is a magnificent creature. That's probably what I would put up against this as number 2. But I don't think there's anything else. I mean, look, a land speed is good. Look, these are all magnificent vehicles, but yeah, you tell me. What's better than this? Come on, tell me what you think. Or is this the best? It's hard to beat. Anyway, look, I'll sign you out with the beautiful, sweet music. Thank you very much for looking at this shuttle. I love these toys, obviously. Just brings you right back, you know. Anyway, farewell all.